welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at gods5minutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. Deuteronomy 6:1 reads, "Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments, which the Lord our God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it." The setting for this verse is vital to understanding its import. Abraham had come from a pagan background, left his native land at God's command for the divine purpose of escaping the cultural influences there, lived among the Canaanite nation as a stranger, absorbing none of their morals or institutions. His descendants had become Egyptian captives for centuries, learning and practicing there the legal system of their overlords, since they had none of their own. They arrived at the border of the Canaan land without any of the societal structures so necessary to nation building. Left to themselves, they would surely have created a crude form of the Egyptian model with its pagan ideas of justice, the afterlife, and the relationship bands that hold a society together. Imagine the immensity of the task of taking a people from this to being a functioning nation with a system of education, laws, courts, process of selecting leadership, and a system of worship vastly different from any practiced anywhere else in the world. The process is even more instructive to us today, since powerful forces here in the United States are fiercely resolved to restructure our society in defiance of anything involved with God. There is a sort of implied covenant between a government and the people over whom it presides. The part of the people is to obey, and a governing body to operate with the best interests of the citizens at heart. God did not automatically claim the right to tell the Israelites what to do, although his role of creator would be ample basis for him to do so. Instead, he had met with the people through their chief leaders and entered into a covenant with them, guaranteeing his providential care over them in prosperity in their new land and defense from all aggressors if they would abide by the precepts he knew were vital to suiting them for the promised success. There is much of that covenant in the founding documents of our own land, such as the self-evident truths that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. While the Israelites were certainly a chosen people, the principles of God's law are not specific to them or to any race or caste. They propound wise moral precepts that are the bedrock structure of any noble culture. No nation, in fact, can truly be a just nation without them. Even those peoples who have never heard of the God of the Bible have attained their highest national excellence when following the dictates of conscience, that little part of God he has put in each of us. Cultures that have disregarded conscience with its tender compassion for its members and neighbors have produced cannibals, have invented the instruments of cruelty, have been governed by heartless tyrants who abuse their thrones only for their own vain pleasures. Since the time of Cain and Abel, it has been the devil's work to unwind the covenant that binds God's people to him and thereby him to them. The commandments, statutes, and judgments Moses was about to teach his Israelite brethren, this otherwise motley group of runaway slaves, were a far cry from the full teachings of Jesus Christ, for they came to a people ill prepared for even these preliminary instructions, despite all God's efforts to elevate them. And yet the germ, the seed of the New Testament doctrine, so beautifully expounded in the Beatitudes, is here in this set of regulations God gave this ancient people to help them live as they should in this new home to which he had directed them. All the world would be better off today if they had carefully fulfilled their part of their agreement with God. All the world will be better off today if you and I will choose to live the teachings of the New Testament. I recommend it to you. And have you talked to God today?
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at godsfiveminutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.